Hello, everyone. Welcome to class today. So today's class, we are going to do a warm-up and then a core workout. I know a lot of people always want to work on strengthening their core, and then we'll do our cool down. So for those of you that have been to our class before, my name is Corey. I'm a physical therapist here with UCSD. And today I have with me Darby. She's our new rehab aide. She hasn't seen our class before, so I thought I would give her an opportunity to come in and kind of see what we're doing here with you guys. And yeah, so new face. If you guys are coming to therapy services, you'll see her around the gym more than likely. And if you aren't coming to physical therapy, you might see her every now and then in our class. All right, so we'll go ahead and get started. She's gonna help us too, because I'm probably gonna get on the floor today. So she might have to help us move our camera and stuff too. All right, so let me back up and kind of rearrange. All right, Darby, you can go over there. Yeah, to do the exercises too. All right, and I'm crooked. Okay. So again, since it's just me, some of these exercises can be done in sitting or standing, depending on your comfort level and your mobility level. Once we get into the core stuff, you can do that either sitting in a chair or we'll get down onto the floor. So make sure you have an ample amount of space, a chair nearby if you need help getting on and off the floor, and then we'll go from there. So our warm-up today is 30-second intervals. We're gonna go through it 3 times, and I'm gonna run through it first, and then we'll put on the interval timer and do it together. So the first one is just jogging in place. You guys should be familiar with this one if you've taken our class before. Again, if you're standing, same idea, just jogging in place. The next one is jumping jacks. So trying to get both hands, both feet working together. Obviously, jumping jacks and standing. The next one is a step and a reach. So we're going to be here and we're going out, 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 trying to keep up a quick pace, get your heart rate up. Same thing if you're standing, similar to our power step in standing and sitting. And then the last one is going to be a heel raise. So I'm lifting up my heels in the sitting position, and at the same time, I'm going to push my hands out. So kind of moving everything together. If you're standing, same idea. So my heels are coming up, and then my arms are pushing out. If you're standing while doing this, and that's too difficult, have your chair nearby, and you can alternate. So lift, push, lift, push, okay? All right, so I'll probably alternate. I'll start in sitting, and then our second round through, I'll move to standing and kind of go that way, I think. All right, so I'm gonna start my interval timer. Here, I'll give this to you. All right, so just hit start and then just flip it so that I can see it. Okay. Ready? All right, here we go. Jogging. So nice big movements. Try to get those arms moving. Core tight, because that is what we're working on today, is core. Go as fast as you can. So remember, we want to be somewhere between 6 to 8 on a scale of 1 to 10 with our cardio. We got 3 seconds. All right, jumping jacks. Move nice and big. Halfway through, I can already feel my heart rate going up. So you should too. And to know that you're working hard enough, we should be able to talk in sentences. but not sing a song. All right, step and reach. Again, you want to try to keep up the pace. Get your heart rate up. All right, and the last one, heel raises with those pushes. So imagine you're throwing a ball. This is our last exercise. And then we'll take a 45-second break. 7 seconds. And rest. So I think you'll have to restart that on when that one is up. All right, so grab a drink of water, take a few deep breaths. We got 45 seconds of rest, and then we're gonna repeat the cycle again. And Darby is helping me out with our interval timer today. So then I don't have to keep looking at my phone. I'll give you a word back. Mm-hmm. All right, we're starting with jogging again. So then hit start. At the top, it should go. Ready? Yep. All right, here we go. Jogging. All right, and if you're in standing, you can go faster. You can even work on forward, backwards, depending on what kind of space you have. If it's hard, moving both your arms and your legs because of your balance, put your chair in front and just march those feet. All right, jumping jacks. Again, if this one's too hard and you're in standing, you can work on just the legs or just the arms. Have your chair in front and do just the legs. Trying to get that hop. Or you can do step backs. All right. Now we're going to do our opposite step and reach. And notice I'm turning my foot, tapping. Again, if this is too hard for you to balance while you're in standing, get your chair, hold on with one hand, and move through it that way. Few more seconds. All right, now we're going to do those heel raises and the pushes. So in standing, you can also add a little bit of knee bend. Almost done. We got 10 more seconds. All right, and into our rest period. Again, get a drink of water, slow your breathing down. If you feel like this isn't challenging enough or you don't need a rest break, then you can march in place, stay walking, stay moving. Again, you should be feeling your heart rate increase. You can tell that I'm a little short of breath. You should be as well. And if you're not, then you're not moving fast enough. So on this last round of our warm up, I want you pushing it as fast as you can. If you're not in that 6 to 8 range on a scale of 1 to 10, we're not working hard enough. Ready? Yep. All right, here we go again. Jogging it out. Again, give it all you got this time. Then we're going to move into our strengthening portion. right, we got 4 seconds. All right, jumping jacks. So quiet. Halfway through. All right. Where now? Step and reach. Almost done, halfway through. All right, last one, those heel raises and those push-ups. So again, think like you're throwing a ball. Halfway done. All right, good. Take a break, catch your breath. Okay. So while we're resting here, I'm gonna go through our first exercise. So I'll show you what it looks like in the chair, and then I'll get down on the floor. So pick what position you're gonna be in, whether you're gonna work your core from the chair or the floor. All right, my heart rate's definitely up. Okay, so the first exercise is called the dead bug. So in the sitting position, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lift my left leg at the same time as raising my right arm. And then we're gonna alternate. So the key with this one is, again, keeping your tummy tight. So you can see how far away I am from my chair. If you're sitting all the way back, you're gonna be relying really heavily on this back support and not engaging your core as much as you can. If you need to use that rest support, you can. But again, if you don't need it, come forward. Sit near the edge of your chair. So again, alternating. Okay? If you are on the floor, it's going to be the same. Okay, you can move that down a little. So if you're on the floor, there's a few different ways we can do this. So keeping planted, and again, lifting opposite. Trying to keep your core engaged, back flat, tucked into the mat. If that's too easy, you can go here. Okay, I'm gonna go in the middle of the road here. And then we're gonna do 10. So 5 on each side. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that keeps rolling up. So now you're going to take a little break. When it comes to strength training, you want to take a rest break that is as long as it took you to do the exercise or longer. So if that exercise took me 15 seconds, then we want at least a 15-second break or longer in order to give your muscles time to get oxygen to start building your muscles. So keep that in mind. If it's too easy, you should be going up in reps or changing how you're doing it. So if this felt easy for you, keeping your feet on the floor, then you'll go here. If it felt easy for you on the chair, then trying to reduce as much support as you can. All right, we're gonna do another set again. So let's go 1, and make sure you're counting out loud with me. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And not only with this exercise are we working on core strength and stability, but we're also working a little bit with coordination. So knowing right and left, knowing which one to move and when, it's definitely a good exercise. So again, we're resting again, giving our muscles a little bit of time to recover before we do our last set. All right, let's do one more. And this time I'm gonna do a little bit harder. 2, 3, 4, 5. You can also hold it longer. So if it doesn't feel like you're working hard enough, hold this position or whatever position you're in a little bit longer. This is 8, 9, 10. Good job. So again, you should feel that one in your lower abdominals. You might feel it a little bit in the front of your hips and your legs, maybe even a little bit in your shoulders. Okay, the next strength exercise that we're gonna do is called a Russian twist. So in this position, I'm going to place my hands behind my ears. You can place it behind your head. Just be careful that you're not cranking on your neck, pulling your neck up if you are on the floor. So again, I tend to just rest my fingers at the base of my skull, kind of where you feel that bony tuberance behind your ears. The other thing is you want to make sure that you keep your elbows out. So if my elbows are way up here, I'm not going to be working quite as hard using your body mechanics. So try to keep those elbows flat. If you can't get those elbows flat, then we need to do some more stretching in the front. So first one is the Russian twist. So we're here, I'm lifting my head, I'm engaging my core, and I'm going to rotate. So I'm going to pull my elbows in, trying to go to my opposite knee. If that's too hard or you feel like you're pulling on your neck too much, don't worry about having your hands back here. You can also work on reaching across, trying to touch your opposite knee. Okay? So now for those of you who are sitting, it's gonna look pretty similar as it does on the floor. So again, my hands are here behind my head, and I'm gonna come across, trying to touch my elbow to my opposite knee. If that's too easy for you in sitting, you can also add a pull up with the knee, so really getting that knee in contact. If that's too hard, like we talked about here, you can work on just kind of reaching down to the opposite foot. This one's designed to hit your obliques, kind of the outer edges of your abdominals. So that's where you should be feeling it. Again, you want to concentrate on engaging those abs, kind of tucking your belly button in towards your spine and staying there, okay? All right, since I'm here, I'm gonna do my Russian twist in a sitting position. But again, if you're on the floor, do them there. So we're gonna do 3 sets of 10 again, okay? So 1, make sure you're counting. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And same thing here, I'm not pulling forward on my head. My fingertips are just resting on the base of my skull. Oh, it's warm in here today. So again, pause, give your muscles time to break. Again, this one targeting the outer edges of your core. If you're lifting the legs, you might also feel it in through the hip and the hip flexors. And the hardest part, I feel like with strength training, is the weighting. So a lot of patients will say, I'll just do 30 in a row. Well, if you're doing just 30 in a row, then whatever it is that you're doing is not hard enough. So we want to be properly engaging your muscles, properly working on strengthening them. If you aren't fatigued after 10, then go up in your repetitions, try to make it a little bit harder. The other thing is properly engaging and properly doing the exercise. So I can just quickly march and turn, but I'm not engaging my abdominals or working on strengthening them at that point. So I really want you guys to tune in to what that means. So again, trying to suck in your belly, thinking about sitting up tall, keeping all that belly tight, and then doing the exercise while also breathing. Don't hold your breath. All right, let's do 10 more. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Very good. And just like with the other ones, again, if it doesn't feel like you're working hard enough, you could hold these positions for a little bit longer to make it a little bit harder as well. The other thing to remember with strengthening is you might not feel it right now as we're doing it. You might feel a little bit fatigued. That's the hope. But don't be surprised if you haven't done core in a while. You might be sore tomorrow or the next day. A little bit of soreness is normal. So just a disclaimer. All right, and let's do 10 more. So again, hands on my skull, not pulling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good work. Okay. The next exercise is a roll up. So I'll turn so you guys can see me from the seated position. So I'm going to put my legs straight out, kind of in front of me, a little bit wider than my hips, just to give me some good stability. If that's not comfortable for you, you can have them kind of tucked in. But again, I'm going to have mine down a little bit. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to crunch forward, roll forward, and then come back up to my sitting position. So rolling forward and coming back. So pretty similar. You guys have probably done that before. A partial sit up or a roll up. If you are on the ground, it's gonna look similar. So here, and again, I'm gonna have my arms extended out. So that way I'm not cranking on my neck. And I'm gonna engage and pull up. So I'm only lifting up my shoulders. I'm not gonna pull myself and come all the way up to a seated position. All right, let's do 10 of these. 1, 2, and make sure you're counting so you're not holding your breath. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then go ahead and rest your body. Catch your breath, get some water if you need to. And I'm just kind of rolling my hips out while I'm here on the floor. And for a lot of you, if you aren't getting on the floor very regularly, if you are on the floor, as you can see, I have my arms kind of up above my head. Being in this position, I'm stretching out my chest, which can sometimes be pretty tight in a lot of people. And it's a good kind of rest position as well, because we are working a lot with the forward chain or anterior chain with some of these exercises. So taking a second to kind of stretch out the front while you're doing it is a good idea. All right, let's do 10 more. So pulling up and down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And also, if you're not able to lift very high with this, that's okay. Even just being here and pulling up what you can is going to start strengthening those muscles. And then you'll just work towards strengthening them more so you can lift a little higher. And I believe this is 10. And rest. You guys are doing really good. We'll do one more set of this one. All right, one more set of 10 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Also, I forgot to mention, so I'm just kind of going at my pace. So if you're having a hard time keeping up with me, that's okay. Take the time, try to get to that 10 repetitions. But again, if you're really fatigued before that, so if you only get to 6, then you do 6. If 10 doesn't feel like it's work enough, go up to 12 or 15. Okay, on to our 4th exercise. What we're going to do is, again, if you're on the floor, stay in this position. I'm going to lift up my shoulders as much as I can and my head. So I'm lifting to engage my abdominals, and then I'm going to kind of tip. So I'm trying to touch my heels. So going back and forth, almost like a side crunch. And if you're sitting, again, I'm going to come forward away from my chair, and you're going to come down, same thing, like you're reaching for your heel, and then you come back up to that middle position. Good posture, and back and forth. Again, working on the sides. Since I'm in the sitting position, I'm going to do my sets here, but if you're on the floor, stay there. So here we go, same idea, we'll do 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, keep that belly button tucked to your spine, 7, 8, 9, 10. And by now, if you're engaging your core, you should start to feel it. You should start to feel some muscle fatigue in those muscles. Feels like you're working, feels like you're doing something. That's what we're looking for. So again, rest. I also have a hard time resting when I'm doing my strength training, because I want to get through it too, but it's definitely important. So we'll do it together. That's where music sometimes helps. All right, let's do 10 more. 1, and when you come up, really engage. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And rest. We are almost done. We have one more set of this exercise, and then one more additional exercise. So if you're keeping track, that's about 5 strengthening exercises that you'll have done for your core today. All right, let's do our last set. 1, up, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good job. All right, so for our 5th exercise, we're gonna work on kind of leg lifts or taps. So again, if you're sitting in a chair, go ahead and kind of brace yourself with the armrests, or if you don't have armrests, you can kind of pull onto the front of the chair. Again, goal is leaving some space between your backrest and you. And this one, you're gonna work on trying to stay forward, and you're gonna lift those legs up and back down. So again, this one, you can make this really hard or really easy. So if that's too hard to do both out like this, you can do one at a time, or you could bring them in, have a little bit of a shorter lever arm and lift. Same thing here, I'm doing 2 at a time, or you can do that marching 1 at a time. But again, goal of engaging your core. So there's sitting. If you are on the floor, Legs out and lift. If that's too hard, you can bring one foot in, again, lifting one at a time, or you can go into, with your legs bent, you can work on just pulling them up 2 at a time, or 1 at a time. So again, pick something that's challenging, that makes you feel like you're working your abdominals, and we're doing 10. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. This one's hard. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Again, with this one, depending on how long you hold it for, you can also change the demands of the exercise. If being on the floor with this exercise feels like it's pulling at your back quite a bit, you might not be engaging your core enough. If you feel like you are engaging your core and it's still bothering your back, try doing it the 1 at a time, or bringing your feet into this position and working there. All right, so we're taking our rest, and then we're gonna do 2 more sets of this one. We're almost done. All right, I'm extending my legs out again, and we're gonna lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The other thing with this one is I don't want you going fast. So you can come here and just kind of flail your legs around. That's going to be harder to control your momentum in this position, but you're also not getting all the benefits that you could be. So again, strengthening is not necessarily about speed. It's about slow, controlled movements with some resistance. All right, we got one more set. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and this last one, lift and hold. Let's count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nice job, everybody. We got all exercises in. Now we're gonna do a little bit of a cool down, okay? So if you guys are familiar with your power moves, if you are on the floor, go ahead and do the ones on your back. If not, you can join me up in the chair and everyone else that's in the chair. We're actually going to move through these a little bit slower, do them as a cool down, get your heart rate back to normal, and also a little bit of a stretch. So because we're gonna move through them slower, we're actually just gonna do 5. So first one is that power up. So you're gonna sink down. Again, this is what I'm talking about, stretching out the front of you. We did a lot of core work today coming forward, so good to stretch out. And then come up tall, shoulders back, head up, chest up, and down again. 2, up, 3, up, 4, up, last one, 5, and up. Next is the rock. So coming down to your side and reaching out and across, up and across, holding. This one will do 6, 3 on each side. Come up, kind of reset, do a shoulder squeeze, and then the opposite way. So this will stretch out the sides of your torso where we also just worked on strengthening. Up. 4. 5. 6. All right, onto the twist. Again, we'll do 6 of these, a little bit slower than usual. So arms out, tighten those shoulder blades, and rotate. Try to twist, get your hips involved. Open back up. 2. Open. 3. And try to twist a little bit further each time. 4. 5. 6. All right, and on the last one is the step. So we're gonna work on taking a nice big step out, kind of leaning towards that leg. You'll feel a little bit of stretch here. And then lifting nice big up. And then to the other side. 2. 3. 4. 5. And 6. All right, that's it. If you feel like you're still a little tight, feel free to do any other stretches that you feel that you need to. But other than that, that's the class today.